As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Sofamanager Scottish Football Podcast, as you'd expect, talking all things Scottish football. And we are pretty much at the end of the season now, so I think it's time for us to start doing some season reviews. Tonight, we're going to be looking at our hometown team, the Falkirk Bears, and see what we thought about their season. Darren's going to run us through what was quite an interesting...
final day?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And we're also going to flick through some news and maybe preview some of next week's games, and we've got a little Falkirk quiz to challenge the guys with at the end, so you can play along with that one, see how well you do. There's a few interesting questions in there. So we'll start, I guess, and don't worry, we'll get to the playoff game at some point. Keep listening for our thoughts there.
Or not.
We shall. So I think best to start with Falkirk's season. Have you enjoyed being a Falkirk fan? That's my first question to kick us off. Darren, I'll start with you. You're more of a part-time Falkirk fan. You're more of the casual observer. Have you enjoyed going to the Falkirk matches this year?
Certain games I have enjoyed, yeah. During the middle of the season, quite enjoyed the few games at home against Dundee United and so on. But, yeah, no, not now.
Wouldn't be the case at the end of the season, no.
Yeah, but towards... obviously, certain parts of the season, they were away at Morton. We went to that game, not so good. And then we had a couple of good league games, actually. League Cup games that we quite enjoyed. The Elgin game. What was the other one? Was it Brecon, wasn't it?
Wait, Stirling Albion.
Stirling Albion, that was the first game of the season, wasn't it? But that wasn't so good because that was a defeat too. But yeah, it's been up and down. So,
and you've had some nice pies and bovrils along the way.
Oh yes, that always helps, you know.
And we've learned
can't go without.
We've learned we need multiple pairs of socks, even though in the middle of summer in Scotland you're still freezing at a football game.
But no, I've enjoyed it. It's just a shame how it's ended, really.
So long farewell, Auf Wiedersehen. And we come to the seasoned veteran of Falkirk Football Club, John Brown. Have you enjoyed?
Well, we're the Newcastle tops. That speaks volumes.
There's similarities between the clubs in some senses.
A decent championship side.
Yeah, exactly.
No, haven't really enjoyed it.
Haven't enjoyed it.
It's been pretty abysmal.
You're a pretty pessimistic lad, aren't you?
I am very pessimistic. Realist.
I think the quality of the games we've watched in the championship that I've been to this season has been abysmal. Like, even the Dundee United game, they won 3-0, was just a shocking football game.
That wasn't a case of how good Falkirk were, it was how bad.
How bad. And across the championship, we'll get to in our review programme in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. But the playoffs, I really got into it. I was up shouting, chanting. Darren and I were actually both very animated at those games. And
sure,
as an Aberdeen fan, you know, I've not really been that invested in the Falkirk games I've been at this season. But I know I was running up and down the stairs, smacking my hand off the
backboard.
I know, using my Christian words as I possibly could have. But yeah, I think a mediocre fan experience for me.
It all kind of petered out at the end, though. It didn't feel like the end of the season.
No, it didn't.
A strange.
I don't think the players will felt that way either.
No,
but
it wasn't one or two of them deserved a better send off than that. We Sybil, who presumably will leave. One or two of them, yeah, I'd be quite happy to see the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And if the rumours are true, one or two are getting contract extensions who shouldn't be getting. Baird, Kerr, two prime examples in my opinion. Bob McHugh
is gone.
He's been released.
I mean, if they follow Football Manager logic, he'll end up at Livingston. So bear that in mind.
Yeah, well, wait, that's not an unreasonable prediction.
Could see that happen.
A lot of people made the excuse that he should have been kept over Baird as the backup striker. Now, you don't know if McHugh wanted to be a backup striker.
I don't think McHugh's got much better options, to be quite frank.
If the guy wants to play first team football at a regular basis, he'll need to go to Livingston,
the lower leagues,
that kind of level. And I think he would do quite well. But
well,
from a Falkirk's perspective, it's a bad
move,
very bad move.
Let's first of all cast our minds back. That was supposed to be a very twinkly sound. I'll put that in post. It's fine. So cast our minds back to the start of the season, where we'll talk a little bit about Falkirk's Cup performances this season. Now, Falkirk, I've known in the past to be a bit of a good Cup team. They're good Cup performers. What went wrong this year? Finishing, I think, a lowly third or fourth in their League Cup group to start the season off.
I mean, it was all pretty brutal, but at the same time, it's just a pre-season tournament at that stage.
Well, but the League Cup, if you're going to get to a final, the League Cup's probably going to be the final you're going to get to.
Well, in recent seasons, yes, but there's been a weird alignment to Scottish football over the last maybe 4 or 5 seasons, where provincial clubs could get to cup finals. That less so now, I think.
Morton got a trip to Hampden out of it, so
1 out of 3 though. I mean, Aberdeen, Rangers, and Celtic were your other lot. You know, that's how these things you expect that to be. The top 3 teams in Scotland will be in the semi-finals, and then it's just a luck of the draw beyond that.
So you weren't too fussed about the Falkirk performances in that League Cup then?
Not massively, no. I mean, if they got to the group stage, fine. But at that stage, it's pre-season.
I thought it was a really bad start to the season, and I thought a few of the games we watched, they had some pretty stinking performances.
Pretty poor. I mean, the Stirling Albion game in particular. I mean, that was the first game back after being annihilated by Kilmarnock. So there was always going to be a weird feeling about that game. And to be honest, I think there was a hangover that ran through that League Cup campaign in the first 2 or 3 games of the league. Beat off Hibs, drew with Morton, and it took a scrappy goal against Dumbarton for the first 3 points. Miller in the 86th minute or something like that. And that, for there, kicked on the season. Yeah, the League Cup, if you get through it, you get through it. No one really cares. It's a Diddy Cup.
And we obviously had the Bobby Madden incident.
Yeah, I'll never forgive him. But
giving away penalties for tugging after his Euro experience as a referee, came back to Scotland and had a bit to say. I swear he was actually trying to make that game interesting, because nothing would have happened had he not given those penalties.
It was on the telly. Like, so what, you know?
I don't think BT Sport will be picking up many of those games from here on out, especially with Rangers not going to be involved next season. No,
and that's an interesting thing for them going forward into the playoffs. They got kind of lucky that Dundee United are at the level they are at. You know, it's quite a big club to watch during the playoffs.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, next season, for example, your playoff final could be St Mirren versus Hamilton if they stay up. Or
I think I mean, as far as the TV coverage is concerned, it's a bit of a hangover.
There's a gap
from the Hibs and Rangers day. That contract was probably signed. And actually probably got, I don't know if they got good value out of viewership, but decent games
they get good value
to watch.
It's something to put on the telly to kind of fill a gap.
Some people will watch football till the bitter death. Like, I know you were watching the FA Vase and the FA Trophy or whatever at the weekend.
FA Vase. That was good game.
Very good. Carl Finnegan, one of the scorers there.
Scored a penalty, aye.
Take him back, what do you think?
That is going back, actually.
Would you take him back?
Yeah.
Probably not. He pulled his hamstring after an hour. He got taken off.
That is as well. That League Cup performance, they were punted out at the group stage. A little bit disappointing, but, you know, new format, and John just sees it as a warm-up. I don't think the fans were hugely bothered about it.
Not particularly. Again, even just looking at that group, you would end up playing those 4 teams of that same calibre for your pre-season, regardless. So why not make it a bit more competitive?
Maybe. But I certainly enjoyed the night that we went to the Elgin game. Nice sunset. If you actually watch the Sofamanager videos on YouTube, that's the same image I used for the background for pretty much an entire year, so I'll hopefully not update that anytime soon, I think.
It has its value.
Yes, it does. It's one of the places we're not going to get copyright striked for. Hopefully it is a little bit of my own content. So I guess moving forward to the Scottish Cup performers, we went to Morton, didn't we, Darren?
We did, yes.
To have a look at them. Classic game. I think you missed
That was
the only goal? 2 goals.
one.
There was only one?
I can't remember.
Okay, Darren, you missed the only goal.
The only goal.
Getting a Bovril because it was absolutely perishingly cold. It must have been a cold February day.
It would have been in February. Yep.
February day. Again, nice sunset. But the stadium looks rubbish. Sure, you'll never see those pictures, if I'm honest. But, a pretty sad affair. We were at the only Falkirk Scottish Cup game this season. Do you think?
That's true.
Again, not really surprised.
Morton, just a team Falkirk haven't been able to suss out all season.
No,
They're on a real bogey side.
They never beat them all season, did they?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I'm sure we'll get to that.
We will.
The league campaign, but
Yeah.
in terms of the cup, my God, man. Again, it shouldn't have mattered if the league performances had been a little bit better. You know, and Morton at the time were really good. Like, they were challenging Hibs for the title, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens their last quarter in the league was a disaster.
Well, they were trading blows with like games in hand and stuff like that went on, and
They're a really good shout. The squad wasn't big enough to kind of cope with the demands, and it was unfortunate that they ended up like, not sort of living up to their expectations. For Falkirk, I don't really mind all that much because I don't want to go to like another final, semi-final and get beat.
It's a big day out though for a large number of the Falkirk part-time fans that only show up because I think there's still a large of them that sat at home for the playoff semi-final when they turned up unless there was a final. You know, I think Falkirk could be getting 14,000 folk a week. I think, you know, if everybody actually got off their butts and didn't go to Glasgow Rangers, such like
that's the biggest problem as well. But yeah, if you're to isolate the kind of cup, so what? It's a one-off game away to Morton on the end of January. It's not exactly.
I think it's a shame because I think it's something we come to expect. Maybe not so much in the Houston era per se, but certainly in other managerial places that Falkirk
are known for being a
cup team
yeah.
Going on a good cup run. Exactly.
This is a huge fallacy, though. I mean, you're building up an expectation of Falkirk now.
Yes, darn right. I'm building up an expectation. Do you not expect anything from your team, John? We went in the League Cup. I wasn't really fast. We went in the Scottish Cup.
Every season you're going to go up, like buy a season ticket and you go, I expect Falkirk to be in the semi-final or the final of the Scottish Cup,
yes.
League Cup.
Yes.
Why though? Look at the size of them compared to everyone else.
Oh, shut up.
You cannot expect
What's been compared to everyone else, John?
You cannot expect
They are what? Probably in the top 10 largest sides in Scotland.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You cannot.
Morton made it to a semi-final. Are they bigger than Falkirk?
When was the last time they go to a semi-final?
Yonks ago.
Right. 80.
Exactly. Even worse.
Exactly.
Falkirk should be there.
No way should they be there.
Yeah. Should be there. Well, no. They shouldn't.
You cannot
Right.
possibly make that argument.
Yeah, they shouldn't be there, but I think you would want them to have a good run in the cup rather
of
than
course
just
you
going
do.
out.
I mean,
expect them to
what
do
I'm
it.
saying is, in the past, Falkirk had players that were capable of outperforming themselves.
On the day.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they.
And it's just unfortunate that other clubs didn't have that at the time. Their time will come. Falkirk's time's past.
Okay, no, I'd agree with that.
Next season you could see, I don't know, Dunfermline have a good run in the cup.
No.
And then that's that. And then next season it'll be another team that has a good run in the cup.
That's
And it's just one and after the other. It's just a provincial club doing better than what they should be.
But Falkirk did well for a number of years.
Luck. You know, it's like
For a number of years, that's not luck, though.
it's a bit. You see the run up they had to the 2009 cup final, right? They played absolute mince teams the whole way through that tournament. It's the same in the 2015 cup final. Right, they played absolute rotten, and they got very, very lucky against Hibs in the semi-final. Right, you cannot expect your club to get to that stage season in, season out.
No.
I think
Right? That's just a massive build-up of expectation for Falkirk and their fans, and they're getting a wee bit arrogant about it.
these days, I think we're starting to see that trend that you're saying there, John. So you're saying 1 year it'll be Morton, the next year it could be Dunfermline. Falkirk will probably come back around again, and it might be Queen of the South. They used to be pretty good.
Yeah, they had some good cup runs themselves.
They won the cup.
So you do see that at times, but
Oh, aye, they did, aye. Knocked out in Europe by some Icelandic.
They beat Aberdeen.
Aye, they did. John Tosh. I remember watching that game.
yeah.
This comes around. It's your Donald Duck who the provincial club will be at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You've just been kind of lucky. You've seen Falkirk in what might be a decent patch when you look back at it in history.
But I think to go out at the first time of asking in both cups is a bit.
I mean, when you look
It's
who
been
you're
a
playing,
poor
though,
season. Yeah.
What?
look who you were playing,
Morton,
right?
a team Falkirk were better than in the league.
Not head to head though.
Not in head to head, but
Not
they
in
finished
head-
on more
and
points.
Particularly not at that time of the year. Falkirk were on a rotten run that time of the year.
Yeah, I know, but
Morton
they.
were challenging for the top.
if you look
you
at-
didn't expect them to win it.
But if you look at teams, right, Morton have what? I think they're about mid-table if you take average attendances. So if Falkirk have much larger attendances, they've probably got a much bigger playing
I mean,
budget.
if you're going to base it on attendances and budgets, there's no point in playing football anymore.
But it's kind of what you're based, like your performance index on.
It's a
Like,
small benchmark. But at the end of the day, I mean, by that logic, St Johnstone should be bottom of the league in the Premiership or thereabouts. And they're fourth.
Mhm.
They're there on merit.
oh yeah, that's fantastic management. But I'm saying that someone like Hearts should finish above them. That's the level of expectation that is there.
They should. But if you're going to base it on that kind of logic, there's no point in playing football anymore. Because you're just going to go, right, Celtic, they've got 60,000 fans turning up every week. You win the league. Rangers, you're second.
But you,
Aberdeen, you're third.
you can't pat like the Falkirk players on the back getting beat by Morton saying, "Oh, that's just rotten luck. It's just football."
No, they shouldn't. They should have been performing a little bit better on the day. Morton were better on the day. They had a better squad. They had a better team. You can't argue against that.
You can't, not for the result, but it's a disappointment nonetheless.
You can and you can't.
It's going to be a very combative episode with John Brown.
So it's fair to say it's been a fair season in the cup for Falkirk.
Thank you, Darren.
Moving on to the league.
Yeah, John, this is your section now. Let's look at how Falkirk have done throughout the season after their abysmal start in the League Cup.
Abysmal start to the League Cup. A pretty kind of mess start to the season. 2 defeats. They're actually kind of unlucky against Hibs in the first game of the season.
I've used the word unlucky again. I'm actually leaping across the desk and strangling
Is
you.
that away for the first one?
Nah, they were at home.
Is it at home?
Seb scored an absolute screamer. In fact, I think it was goal of the season, funnily enough.
Hibs' goal of the season?
Falkirk's goal of the season.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it would have been...
It was the very first goal scored that season, and it was the best goal scored that season. Got beat off Queen of the South away, which at the time it looked like Stephen Dobby was going to be sort of man of the century for them.
I think he did alright in the end.
He did
Done well, yeah.
Did he finish top goal scorer, or did Cummings beat him?
I think it'd be pretty close. Because I don't think
Could
Cummings...
even be tied.
Maybe tied.
I think it could be tied, because Cummings wasn't scoring that many goals towards the end of the season, and I think Stephen Dobie was probably kicking in 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It was quite prolific. It was prolific all season. That's what you get.
He scored... I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 against Falkirk, but he didn't do anything in the game, he just scored.
No, he was right place at the right time.
But that's what you need from a striker, is
That's it.
a finisher.
Falkirk really struggled them. We'll get to that as well, but I mean, like I said earlier, it took a 1-0 win over Dumbarton. 86 minutes relying on Lee Miller to score your goal
To kickstart the season.
Yeah, to kickstart it. It kind of get you out of that rut for the League Cup, the League Cup, the playoff final defeat. And from there, it started off okay.
The playoff final and the League Cup, and
Well,
it was all mounting against them at that point.
It was kind of looking a bit shaky even then. I mean, 16 points out of 27 for the first quarter, including a win over Dunfermline. Can't go wrong. Second quarter was a bit of a dip, in fact, a real dip. Got 11 points.
Really?
Yeah, really quite horrendous.
So is this the sort of time they were floating about, kind of languishing behind Queen of the South and in and around Dunfermline?
6th, 7th, and you're kind of going, this could go either way. It's this form could put you down in the relegation playoffs rather than the promotion. And they got beat 4-2 off Wraith. They would still be managed by Gary Locke. that was a disaster that day. Again, another kind of scrappy 1-0 win away to Ayr. Kick starts, end up in the third quarter, one of the best quarters, 18 points out of 27. That's what really propelled them.
Yeah.
At the same time, Queen of the South fell away, Wraith collapsed, Dunfermline were still a wee bit shaky. So that essentially cemented your playoff position. Fourth quarter, it was to be who's less shit, to put it in eloquent terms. Especially going into the last 4 or 5 games, we've all seen it. Falkirk clinging on for dear life the second. Morton collapsed, and Dundee United decided they were going to match all of our results.
Yeah, I know. The thing about that, like the race to the end, was at one point I think Morton had 2 or 3 games in hand, and it was pretty much theirs to lose.
Yep.
And they lost it.
Yeah.
And then Dundee United always had a game of BBC Alba after the Falkirk game.
Aye.
So all they would need to do was better the Falkirk result, and they didn't. Like, it was just these teams just couldn't get it together.
I'm sure they were on Alba 2 weeks in a row, because we had bottled it twice.
Yes.
And then one of them in particular, they were at home to Dumbarton. It was the second last game of the season. Dumbarton needed a draw to effectively stay up.
Yeah.
I think United took the lead twice.
Yeah.
And Dumbarton pulled them back.
I know. I mean, I think they both bottled it, but I think credit where credit's due. Falkirk in that last half of the season, they did what they needed to do.
Oh yeah, they hung on.
Well, yeah.
Spot, so.
I would never say that like they dominated and like really pressed on in games. I think they were a bit lucky.
Aye, they would take a 1-0 lead. In fact, they would take a 1-0 deficit and then have to chase the game. But
they got the points.
That worked.
Yeah.
You're right, you got the points.
It's not a way to win a championship, but
No, I mean, if you compare it to last season, which is always a dangerous game to play, I think we were 10 points worse off. It felt like we had drawn a lot of games this season, and we had.
Oh dear Lord!
But compared to last season, it's the same amount.
The championship was just a draw.
Yeah.
It was just a draw for
One thing I did notice when I looked at the tables prior to this, and I did notice that it was 11 points the difference between Hibs and Rangers last year, and there was 11 points the difference between Hibs and Falkirk this year. So it's quite interesting to see that it's the same.
See, that's 11 points I think they easily could have got.
Yeah.
And I'm quite disappointed that nobody, and I think even Dundee United with this. I don't know. See, Dundee United, I thought looked absolutely honking at points in the season.
They did, yeah.
I mean, they'll always point back to their home form versus away form.
Mm-hmm.
I think they hardly won a game all season away from home. They won when it mattered.
I think actually credit where credit's due to Ray McKinnon as well, because he leaves Wraith, they go down. You know, Dundee United, that's him in the playoffs 2 years in a row.
For Ray, aye.
Because he was in there with Wraith last season.
And they go beat off Hibs in the quarterfinals.
Aye, yeah, because Falkirk pipped them to second there, that's quite right. Yeah, so well done, Ray McKinnon. We say through gritted teeth. Quite a controversial figure, though. He gets a lot of stick and abuse.
I'm neither here nor there with the guy. He done, when you see it back, he's done a really good job with Ray. Because I don't know if the squad's the same or not, but this season they've been murder. And Dundee United was a big rebuilding job.
So I think, like, say throughout Falkirk's league season, who's the consistent performer for you? Who's the guy he's been there week in, week out, doing well? Who's like your player of the season is essentially what that question
that is a tough call because none of them have really been standouts, as you would probably agree.
Well, that's why none of them are in the championship this season.
And Peter Grant, standard season, up to maybe just after Christmas, you would have gave it to Hippolyte.
Yes.
Until he got a little bit injured, a little bit.
McCracken made quite a few championship team of the weeks, and I think one team of the month in Scotland.
He might have done. He had a wee run of games and looked alright.
Yeah.
There's no one. The obvious answer is like Sibbald.
Craig Sibbald, yeah. That's what I'd say. Did he end up being their top goal scorer of the season, though?
Strangely enough, yes.
Yeah.
With a grand total of 10.
Well, scratch that question for the quiz later.
Point to me.
I think both of you would have got that, but I thought the games I watched, Sybil, just the standard games, I was not impressed. The last playoff game of the season, I thought he played really well. He got back into that possession football he was really good at. I think he misses, like, I always thought he used to be a really creative midfielder who would pick out really good passes.
Yeah.
I've not seen so much of that from him this year, and I think it's just because of the position he's been played by Houston.
Completely agree.
He's been a bit stuck there. I mean, Kerr has played pretty much every week. Again, thought really, really good in the playoff final. I always thought he was like the one guy in the team who you could rely on not to make a mistake, like it would a good pass, but he makes some pretty scary back passes sometimes. Like he will launch it back at the centre half, and you're like,
his form was pretty poor coming into the playoffs, wasn't it, John? So we had seen a couple of games before the playoff games, and he was looking a bit out of sorts, and then he came into a bit of form for the two playoff games, which is credit to him, but obviously wasn't enough as the team. But
well, he'll play on for next year.
Maybe a chance. The rumour is he's been offered a new contract along with John Baird. So,
well, I guess we've skirted around it so much now. It's time to talk about the playoffs. Dun 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 dun. Overall performance,
not good enough.
I thought it was actually probably the best I've seen Falkirk play, but just the mentality not there.
Yeah, again, I would agree. They played to their capacity, and not one of them really looked like they would sort of pull a kind of man of the match performance out of nowhere.
I just think the moral of the story, because obviously, Falkirk were beaten 4-3 on aggregate, it would have been.
Yeah.
Dundee United picking them out at home at the Falkirk Stadium, which I think is disappointing. But I think what that really highlighted is you need to take your chances. Yeah. And Falkirk at some points had chance after chance after chance. Didn't put them away, whether it was a midfielder or whether it was Nathan Austin. Not that I'm picking on him.
He looked timid.
He's not a
wee boy.
He's not a finisher.
I don't know. I mean,
he's no.
Against that defence, he was bullied, and I think he gave up.
Yeah, I think he looked a bit out of his depth, especially in the home game that I seen. Like it looked like he had showed his age a wee bit. I didn't know what age he was, but you were telling me he was 19 or something like that. I think he actually showed his age in that game because he never had the experience there to actually go and do something in the game.
When you say like he's 19, Scott Wright 19, scored a hat-trick for Aberdeen.
There is that as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think...
Different level.
I don't think it's an excuse for... I know, it's a better level than that. Thank you very much for highlighting that. I don't think it's an excuse for not finishing some of the chances he had.
No, he should have.
I understand, there is a lot to learn. Finishing, I don't think is one of them. I think, he's been playing football since he was a little lad. And I did spot him at Pizza Hut a few days before the match. Not that I'm saying that may or may not have affected him.
He was my biggest frustration in the game. I just felt like even if he went for the ball, that he'd just give up. He wouldn't run with the man to get the ball back or anything. So.
I mean, to an extent, I can understand that attitude towards it. He was getting bullied, so rotten off the edge and Gelly.
Aye.
And I think if Lee Miller had been on the park with him, different story, because the pair of them, with their kind of stature, with a
they're better, aren't they?
We wee kind of give and go. Austin never got any support from midfield.
No.
So there's no point in chasing after those balls because your midfield's 40 yards behind you and they're never going to catch up. That's an issue. He's selling to the ground. You can't do that. Sort of 2 games in the bounce. It's close like that together. Although Simon Murray and Mickelson, the other Dundee United guys, fantastic. They chased after everything. 2 really pacey guys, understand each other's games, and it made the difference. I thought they were unbelievably good.
I think it's quite difficult because Mickelson is quite an experienced footballer in Denmark, who they bought for money in January. So it's difficult to compete with that. And Murray is having quite a good season. It looks like he's now going to go to Hibs out of contract. So, which is it's a blow for Dundee United, but they're getting Keating. So it's a kind of.
I think depends if they get promoted if he stays or not.
No, I think he'll still go to Hibs.
I think he'll still move. Yeah.
Because apparently the Hibs pay packet they're offering him is
a lot better.
Yeah, and other teams are looking at him like Partick, Thistle, and kind of lower bottom 6 teams are looking at him. But good luck with that. I thought he had some fantastic finishes in that game, and looks like a good striker. Maybe not so much in the second leg to do so much, but I think I'd agree with John is that support on the ball for Falkirk's a really big area they need to work on.
Yeah.
Because they'll be down the flank sometime and there's just nothing on. There's nothing on in the middle, there's nothing on behind them.
Well, if you watch it, this is me trying to be a tactical genius here, but if you watch Falkirk, you have to say it's like between Sibs and Leahy, right? It'll take forever for the pair of them to get up the park because it's triangles between them and a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
They pass it up and pass it up. They get to the byline, what do they pass it back?
Yeah.
And you're like, for the love of God, just run. I don't care if you're like the slowest man on earth. Just take it for a wander. If you're good enough, you're going to keep a hold of it.
I think direct is not a word you associate with Falkirk, but they are quite organised in that sense of the triangles. But for me, they're quite predictable that way, and I don't know if that's just because I watch them every week and obviously I know what they're going to do. But a lot of the times they are really closely marked, and there's chucking crosses in the box, and it's not a strength. I think of Falkirk's is crossing and getting headed goals.
Not particularly.
Depending on who's on the park.
Yeah. You're kind of looking at either the striker being well positioned or like the opposition defenders being good enough to block out the cross.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 the defenders know what we're doing because we take forever to get up the park. They can position themselves.
Chance creation, I think, is maybe one of Falkirk's, because this season a lot of the goals I've seen them scored has been from free kicks. It's been from corners, it's been from massive mistakes. That's one thing, like the corners they played Dundee United at Tannadice, they were playing these like really deep corners in that was working really well, like they were causing massive problems. The corners they took against it with the Falkirk Stadium were naff.
No, terrible, yeah.
They never bet the first man, really.
Oh, and Muirhead's crossing. Dear Lord.
Bad.
The less said the better. But the boy's not a right back.
But then, Gallagher, Gallagher's played like 4 games this season. He's supposed to be the next big thing. What is that about?
Because Leahy's a better option than left.
Well,
I think that's the only thing that was keeping.
Play Leahy at right back.
Aye, to be honest, it probably would have been a better shout.
And actually been released too, ain't it?
Aye, the rumour is he's going to Walsall or.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, there's almost nothing you can do.
Aye, he's homesick. He wants to go back to England, and fair enough. The weather's nicer.
Oh, aye. But I guess. So are we disappointed that Falkirk are out of the playoffs, actually, before we move on to...
A little bit, but at the same time... No.
Sorry, John. Dundee United should have won that. It's my mistake.
That Falkirk squad, as it is, would it compete in the Premiership?
The the way they played, well, yes. Because, see, a lot of the pundits were saying how impressed they'd been with Falkirk this season. I don't think they'd actually seen that much of Falkirk.
No.
But how, impressed and how they thought they could survive at the bottom end of the Premiership. And to be honest, when I look at like Hamilton and when I look at Inverness week in, week out, yeah, I would say Falkirk are on par with those bottom teams.
Over a season, maybe, yeah.
No,
I'm just curious, because in my opinion, they probably would really struggle in a big rebuilding job that they've done.
I think more, but
Especially going forward.
yeah, well, now, absolutely. So I guess that, well, Darren, what did you think of their playoff
Well,
performance?
the thing that disappointed me the most about the playoff was that they were in a good position, Falkirk. 2-2 after the first leg, you were thinking, there we go.
And then they went 1-0
And then
up.
they went 1-0 up, and you were thinking, right,
Aye, that
so
was the
can we get the
sucker
game
punch. That
plan
was a
right
big
here?
sucker punch.
And then obviously, it was a shame last couple of minutes conceding that goal. But that was my biggest frustration, because I was really thinking, here we go, Falkirk's going to do it here. And then, never happens.
I think, yeah, for me, there was that desire
Yeah.
from Dundee United. They were 2 paces ahead of Falkirk.
That was what I was going to say.
They took their chances, and I thought the support was great.
Unbelievable.
I was giving my all, and I posted on Facebook, we gave it all. At least the fans did. Hashtag sassy. Quite deliberately so. But those players, a lot of them needed a good shake.
Yeah.
I think the midfielders on the attack, just everybody needed a good shake. Good performances, like Kerr, I think, deservedly got man of the match from the Falkirk side of things because he was good in possession. It didn't really drive them forward in the same way that Sibbald had some great dribbling action, which I was glad to see because it's something I've not seen him. And it looked like he was really pushing himself for the first time in a while. But not just...
There was no outball.
But sometimes it was just shoot. Someone like Taiwo, he needs to learn how to shoot just from the edge of the box. And flipping... See corners that getting rebounded. Nobody was ever in the right place to come and collect the rebound. Never. Out of 3-4 times. And how can that be a thing? Tactically, you defend against even the young lads. You see where the ball ends up, you put someone there. And Dundee United were in control of that at the end of the game. Like every time they put a cross in, they were winning it when it came back out. They were on Falkirk for a lot of the game. But Falkirk, again, had a lot of good pressure and did not do anything with it.
I had 1 or 2 chances to kill the tie off, never took it. Second half, we were seeing it that the United support was up for it.
Mm-hmm. They were.
And that helps.
I think that was almost a benefit because I thought the away fans were probably better there than they were at home.
Aye.
But then it's the second leg, it's more important.
And it's the last 45 minutes, it's an all or nothing.
Aye.
And they're already behind, it's just chuck everything in the kitchen sink at it.
I think those lads were playing for extra time and penalties there. The Falkirk lads.
Us for sure, especially after the first went in, we couldn't get out.
Oh wait, we'll see how Dundee United get on in the playoffs. Good luck to them.
I wish them all the best. I think they should get up after that performance.
Oh please, otherwise they will ditch the playoffs because it's pointless. There's no team going up in a few years now.
I can't deal with the excuse that we've got a Dundee United in the league this season. We're not going to spend any money. As it's been the last 3 seasons.
Well, I guess that takes us on to the point of where do they go from here? Because if we look at... So the point I was going to make was over the last few years they've lost Alston, Volks, and it now looks like Leahy and Sibbald. Mm-hmm. And that was the core of that team. Those were the good players that drove them forward. And if Leahy and Sibbald do go away, I think we fully expect Leahy to go. Mm-hmm. And Sibbald has now been there for 5-6 years.
The only thing that'll hold Sibbald back is the compensation we're due, and that's a real issue for him.
Yeah, well, the compensation will go in the next 2 years, I think they'll have to look realistically at it.
It's after 6 months. Like Sibbald could sign an amateur contract for any club. I think Hearts have been doing this at the moment with some random guy.
Right.
Came out of League 2. I'm sure it was League 2. He's on an amateur contract, so it's like a 4-month trial, effectively. Right. This is to avoid compensation. Sibs could do the same.
I think you need to be careful with that sort of thing because there will be tribunals and things brought against you.
Incredibly dodgy, and if you do it to a full Scottish club,
I'm sure Dundee United a few years ago were on the hook for I think £1 million for some young lad. Aye, so yeah, you've got to be really careful with it.
But you could move abroad. It doesn't apply.
Right.
Like Sam Nicholson for Hearts. If he moves to a Scottish club and probably a British club, Hearts are due compensation. Rumour is he's moving to the MLS with Minnesota United.
What?
random as anything.
He's too good for. You don't do MLS unless you're like a good Scottish player later on in your career. Like,
Shaboli.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but not if you're a young guy.
I don't know. He would do alright. I think the money would be reasonable, and I'm sure it'd be quite nice to live there for 6 months of the year.
In terms of your footballing career, I don't think it's a good move.
It's okay. Minnesota are dreadful this season, but
I know.
there's a good chance for him to make something of himself.
He could Fraser Aird himself.
Well, I wouldn't wish that.
Another player being released by
I'll be
Falkirk.
glad to see the back of him.
I don't think we really have much to say about Fraser Aird, truth be told.
Never did it.
No. Other players being released, David McCracken, I think done his time now.
Been offered a non-playing role.
Well, how many non-playing roles can there be? Is Alan Maverino still there?
He's he's under 20s manager.
Yeah, watch out how much you're paying people here, you know. That's
He's holding up a coaching budget.
they've still got a goalkeeping coach, which is no,
I don't know.
you know.
Well, you can put two and two together here. There's the new gym in the South Stand's been opened.
Mm-hmm.
McCracken is a personal trainer. Part-time. So
What, they're going to farm him out, try and make
There's
as much
that.
money? Get trained by a former Falkirk captain now!
that's exactly it. He can run his own very small personal training business.
Just play the video of him in the snow working out in the middle of the motorway during the traffic.
Winter warm-up.
Are you a member of a gym? Any weather, come rain or shine. It's a McCracken good time. Anyway. That's sort of he's gone. I don't think any other big names are gone. Remind
That
me.
was a big name.
Leahy and Sims are the real,
Yeah.
and Bob McHugh.
A few youngsters being let go, but
Never knew who they were.
no, I didn't. I didn't even write them down on my list. Truth be told. So, if we look at other players out of contract, well, Bob McHugh, obviously, who we discussed earlier. And I think if you're letting Bob McHugh go, do they think they have a replacement in mind? Do you think they need a fourth striker in that squad?
Yeah,
I'd say so.
Yeah, it depends on what they really do about Baird.
See, I think not many teams in Scotland have 4 strikers on the payroll.
No, I mean, this is going to be Austin plus another, and it all depends on who the other is. If it's going to be Shepherd, who's on an unbelievable 2-year deal, he never deserved it. You got Kevin O'Hara, who had 2 or 3 cameo appearances 2 seasons ago,
He's not played a drop this season.
and that's unlucky for him. You've seen how prolific your strikers are.
Well, there must be a reason for it though. I don't know if he's not training well or
Attitude, perhaps.
I don't know how his loan spell went with East Fife.
Not well.
Not well. That was awkward though because he was still training with the Falkirk squad. You're not really embedding.
Doesn't work, does it?
Like I don't imagine
It's awkward.
you turn up with East Fife and you're just playing with a bunch of random lads.
Show up on the Saturday afternoon, you're expected to do a job.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's a shame because he looked promising years ago. Quite a small guy, needed a bit more physique about him, as pretty much every youngster does. Truth be told,
No, these days, aye.
apart from us round this table,
Right.
that's just fat. But we'll get running. We'll be trim by the end of the summer, that's for sure.
Summer 2020, maybe.
So if we look at players they could replace him with, the only striker on my list is Scott McDonald of Motherwell, who's out of contract.
How ambitious.
Well, I think that's where Falkirk have to look. They have to look towards Premiership players now. And they've been good at picking young kind of Championship League One players up.
Yeah.
That's not really paid dividends
They
recently.
need to look at the other direction, don't they?
Yeah, there's been a lot of pretty meh
Aye.
signings this season in particular, as well as probably last.
1 or 2 have been kind of casting an eye to see what Rory Lloyd does at Dundee. He's a little bit out of
See, at loan at St Mirren at the end of the season. Did
Well,
quite well, I think.
If he gets picked up by St Mirren, that's not going to go down well with our fans.
But would he come back to Falkirk? I don't.
I don't think he would.
No.
If you offered him enough money, of course, but
Can St Mirren offer him more money? I don't
That's
think so. I think St Mirren are of quite a similar ilk.
yeah, this is all about ambition.
That's true.
If Houston decides that's the kind of guy he wants, there's every chance that Lloyd would come to us.
Do we look at St Mirren signed Cammy Smith from Aberdeen? He was on loan at St Mirren. I don't think he did great things, but I think he must have done alright there to earn himself a contract. And it's not Gary McKenzie.
Was it not Gary McKenzie?
I think it's Gary McKenzie. Yeah, they've signed an extra on a 1-year deal, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a really good player for them. So
I mean, it was famous.
That's intent.
Last season said Wraith and St Mirren had signed really good players, and I was worried about them.
Oh, hold on, John. I said that Inverness would finish in the top 6. Couldn't have been relegated much harder.
Your Inverness talk yet?
No. I'm waiting for the championship discounts to kick. Their chairman obviously resigned, which I think will be a very popular move because actually a really good Instagram account on Instagram.
Really?
Surprisingly enough,
never have
that's where you find good Instagram accounts. Darn you, Darren Gibson. North Stand Rising, it's called. It's a really good fan Inverness Cali account, and a lot of the fans there were pretty pissed with what the chairman had brought the club into. But he was on there saying it was a temporary thing. He was only supposed to be in for a while. It'd been 6 years. So,
He had a cushy number.
Yeah. But that's the thing, with a club like Inverness, so many good players all get sold. There's going to be a lull at some point to deal with. So, they're going down. There'll probably be a couple of players there, but I don't think Falkirk will be interested in any of them.
Not many. I would maybe have a look at Billy Mackay, but again,
Billy Mackay would be.
He would be good.
His form hasn't been great.
No, it's not.
But at the same time, I dropped down to another level.
I think he would be good at that level. Yeah.
See, he's one of these ones do you take the punt and hope you find
him
that?
And Austin just like that. And,
Well, what if Austin gets picked up by someone in the summer? What if Dundee United are like, well,
it's between him and Peter Grant
mm-hmm.
who gets picked up first.
See Peter Grant 2 seasons ago. I could have seen him joining his dad at Celtic. I'd be like, what a brilliant centre back.
If he hadn't torn both his ligaments in each knee, absolutely he would have been down in the English Championship right now.
He would.
But that's the big thing that'll hold him back. And it's good for us because he's a reasonable centre back.
He's pretty good. Gasparotto, on the other hand, he's a bit...
Watson as well. Jesus.
You need experienced centre backs, and McCracken, yes, is an experienced centre back, but
if you say Paul Quinn, I'm going to reach over this.
Well, Paul Quinn, when he was at Aberdeen, did a job. I thought he's better than Ash Taylor. Dear Lord.
Well, yes.
Ash Taylor. Aberdeen are actually going to have a bit of a problem with a bit of a cull of some of their good players as well. But I think Paul Quinn, he's 31. There's a bit of life left.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. If I'm
totally honest.
It's just a little bit of lack of ambition. Not ambition, it feels a little bit lazy.
See, he's had a bad season. And who would you rather pick up? Do you want that really left field guy who's got loads of potential?
I mean, I'm looking for this guy who's coming out the French National League. I've never heard of.
Jean-Francois Lesenel, the best Falkirk player ever, picked up.
Beast the championship.
Dear Lord, they picked him up from French amateur
aye.
Division 2 football.
I'm sure Farad was the same. We got him one season wonder out of some.
See, it's amazing how those sort of guys end up in the Championship League one, like the Faisal El Baktouis, the Jason Scotlands, the foreign
Aye. How
stonking good players.
How on earth did they ever hear us?
I have no idea. They must have failed miserably somewhere.
Suleiman
Koulibaly, he must be doing badly out in Egypt. Come on, get him.
Well, he wasn't getting paid.
Oh, that always happens. See when they go abroad.
Aye.
Mark Kerr had that problem in Turkey.
I think it was Turkey.
Turkey had that
Or
problem.
Cyprus, I can't remember. One of the two.
Tell us, Mark. You're probably tuned in. You've got nothing better to do. Apart from hold the ball. But, so, no, I think a new defender. I guess a fullback's probably the priority.
A right back, maybe a left back if Gallagher's not up to it.
Would you like to see Tony Gallagher really be fed more into the team next season?
Yeah, there's one or two.
Or do you think that'll put off the really big bids when people actually see how good he is?
No, I would keep Gallagher for sure. I would play him regularly. I would have... There's a youngster called Liam Henderson, ironically.
Yeah.
He's quite tall, centre mid. You would expect him to do quite well. I'd offer Taiwo a new deal. Yeah, I would. He's a decent centre mid.
Sorry, listeners, I'm just picking my mouth up off the floor. He's actually played quite a lot of games for them this season. And he's a footballer on the park. That's all I can say about Tom Taiwo.
He's solid enough. He does what you want at the day. He just tackles, and that's all you want.
He's all right. I thought he was naff in those playoff games, beyond horrendous.
Wow.
Especially considering he was a sub, he looked like he just as knackered as the rest of them.
I mean, I don't know if I would keep Joe McKee. One good game against Dundee United in the first leg, a little bit anonymous in the second leg. In fact, to the point where he actually got subbed quite early. Don't know if that's a fitness thing or not.
Yeah, I've not seen much good of Joe McKee. Same with Craigan has been a bit up and down for me.
Craigan, when he's played in the middle of the park,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
amazing goals
Mm.
in the two legs, playing in the centre of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why has he been shunting to the right all the time?
I don't know. Houston, just right.
It's like square pegs for round holes.
Peter, listen to this. You play a formation, right? Think of FIFA, for example. You're building your ultimate team, okay? What happens when you put a player, like you put a Cam at left mid? What happens?
You can have zero chem.
The chemistry drops. the player just isn't as effective. He should play FIFA Ultimate Team. John's got half a disc somewhere I could maybe lend him. So Peter, play FIFA. There's none of the Falkirk players on there, and that's your fault because they didn't win the playoffs and get into the Premier. That's it.
Or Football Manager, you're playing against like a very sensible artificial intelligence.
Yeah, must be very sophisticated. So no, just. I actually not. What do you think? Do you want Peter Houston there next season? Actually,
Again, I've been kind of flirting with the idea of getting rid of him.
John Hughes is available. John Hughes is available.
I
You'll
also
be there.
have Dundee are looking at him if Neil McCann doesn't stay, which is distinctly possible.
See, Neil McCann has history at Falkirk too, but he would never obviously drop from Dundee to Falkirk.
He was raging he never got the job after Eddie May.
Oh, was he?
They gave it to Presley instead.
That was a McDaft decision.
That was a McDaft decision.
Because Presley's done.
Nothing.
Presley's useless. Like, see when I hear him on like radio interviews and stuff, it's just like,
Obnoxious.
what you talking about? Like, he just sounds like an idiot half the time. Like, he just speaks crap, much like Michael Stewart.
Oh,
Burn. Should have thrown stuff at him when we saw him at the Fogger match. They try and have banter on sports scene. They always tease like Stephen Thompson, because Stephen Thompson always goes on about winning the League Cup with St Mirren,
Yeah.
or the Scottish Cup,
League Cup.
League Cup. And I'm like, fuck off, Michael Stewart. At least he achieved something
Exactly.
in his bleeding career. Oh no, Michael Stewart wouldn't. I think they won the League Cup with Hibs, maybe.
Michael Stewart won the Premier League.
Did he?
English Premier League. He was in the books at Man United.
Oh, I know. Scrap that. Who was I reading the day? Was it Gasparot or someone had won like some FA Cup because he was at Peterborough? I think Peter Grant actually won like the EFL League trophy
It might have been.
at Peterborough United, but he didn't play a single game, so it's like that doesn't count as an honour. I think maybe Houston's been there 3 seasons, 4.
3 seasons.
3 seasons. I think he's out of ideas. I think he's done all he can with that team, and the tactics he puts into that team now is kind of.
It's all or nothing this season if he does stay.
Well, I don't think he's got any ideas left in his box. I think what he's doing with that team is being very conservative.
Aye, too conservative.
And they're not, and that's what's costing them. Like cup performances and stuff is they're not pushing themselves. Because again, Sibbald I don't think is playing at his maximum potential. There's a whole heap of them not playing at their max potential because they're out of position.
Like I said, they played their capacity in their role, and that was it.
I think they look like a team that need a new manager to give them a boost and actually push them on to
Aye, I mean, I'm kind
a new
of.
level.
It's 50-50. Either get rid of most of the squad or you get rid of the manager. Because it's all very stale.
I think they're all probably getting too comfortable with each other.
And
They were having banter when they revealed the new kit, and I was like,
uh-oh.
jeez, this is as much banter as you find on the Sofamanager football podcast. Pretty much. I think a bit stale, 3 years. Time to move on, time to give the team a fresh lick of paint. Let's get back to that Falkirk playing style of old that was great to watch and did produce some pretty good results in the end.
Aye.
Jack Ross knows how it's done.
That's it.
He's not been at St Mirren long enough to be lured away, I don't think.
No, I think even trying to get away it was something maybe a challenge.
You couldn't pay any money. This is not a thing that would be done.
Like we said earlier, they're two very similar sized squads.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think bigger fan base at Falkirk, actually, strangely enough.
aye, maybe.
According to the average attendances I looked up earlier,
It's a very lateral move though.
It is, but you're hoping to catapult yourself from one end of the championship to the other. But then the Wraith syndrome. You don't know what's going to happen, and he's just kind of brought that St Mirren team back. Huge credit to Jack Ross. I mean, they look doomed.
Out of nowhere, quite.
For very, very early on in the season.
Well, they'll be the ones to watch next season, for sure.
I think so, St Mirren. Dunfermline, I think, will probably continue to make steady improvements
They'll
as well.
progress,
A little bit. I don't rate their manager, but I think they might do okay. Queen of the South, I'm not convinced about.
No, I think Queen of the South
at
are
the moment.
they're a quintessential mid-table championship team.
Yes,
I don't think there's much more they can really do, to be honest.
not particularly. And then Hamilton and Inverness coming down. Inverness are in financial difficulties, allegedly.
Yeah.
They'll struggle. Hamilton, same problem.
It'll be interesting to see what Hamilton do. Because again, they got playoffs and then went up against Hibs. So, you can't write them off for a title or a second place. I don't see Falkirk winning the title next season. It'd be fantastic.
Need to invest money to do that.
It's all on
Absolutely.
next season. They need to go for it.
Yeah. Well, as we've kind of looked through, there's not very much talent out there, to be truth be told. And any talent that is out there has been swept up by Hibernian.
They've got to look at the loan system as well.
Oh, I was going to ask you, who do you think would be good? Liam Henderson being a bit quiet.
I've seen him today.
Did you?
In Livingston.
Which one?
The
The Celtic one. Not the Falkirk one. Did you not go up to him and beg him? Years ago, there was that LeBron James thing was when he went to Miami, and there was this Cleveland fan that went on and begged him to come back, and he was basically burned at the stock in his own time. But then LeBron came back and he was like, "You're hero." So it's Liam Henderson's not LeBron James of football. It should be pointed out. I think Liam Henderson would probably look for a Premiership side now as well.
I would imagine so. I think Hibs is.
Aye.
After that sort of 2 seasons between us and them, I don't see why we come to Falkirk.
There's maybe a few kind of younger Hibs players they could look at, maybe an Alex Harris or something like that. Doesn't play regularly.
Maybe. I mean, they're going to change out a lot of their squad.
Exactly.
Neil Lennon's squad. I'll keep my eye on that.
Keatings would have been good.
Keatings would have
He
been
would
good.
have been
Martin
really good.
Boyle as well if he gets released.
Yeah.
I want to probably avoid Grant Holt.
See, they can't have another, because Grant Holt's basically Lee Miller.
Yes. Although less sexier.
Would be less popular with the fans, that's for sure. About loan signings, I'm going to be devastated to see Ryan Christie go at Aberdeen. I think he's been an absolutely fantastic player. Well, he actually won Aberdeen Young Player of the Year.
For the 4 months he was there.
Aye, been on loan for half the season. Scored some great goals in that last game against Partick Thistle.
Might come back.
We could give them some money for Patrick Roberts. I don't know.
If they get Patrick Roberts permanently, then there's no reason for Christie to hang around.
But then Aberdeen...
Whatever happened to Scott Allen?
Oh, he went to Rotherham.
Rotherham, I think he's still there.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
No, I think probably nobody cares. He was daft. I mean, he should have done that thing, gone to Rangers. See, they're talking about Vladimir Weiss coming back.
Yeah.
I don't get why the Rangers fans are so obsessed with him. I see on social media a lot, they're like, Vladimir, come back. And I'm like, freaking why? He played for 6 months. Yeah, he was a decent player, but, Canberra Jets, what's that about?
Maybe a cool hero. He was on loan at Rotherham.
Oh, he was on loan.
He was on loan, right?
Strictly speaking, still a Celtic
So,
player.
well,
They paid money for him.
they did. The only reason they did that, though, was just his 2 fingers up to
A
Rangers.
little bit.
Good on him, actually. It was probably the better move for his career. Celtic, the better team. It's not really panned out that way. Meanwhile, Fraser Fivey still playing games at Hibernian, so,
Another kind of lazy Houston signing.
Who?
See that happen.
Oh, Fivey?
Anyway,
Fivey wouldn't be any good.
it'd be horrific.
He'd just be another... He's just one of these players in a squad.
Squad play.
Yeah.
It doesn't bear thinking about.
Jeez, thanks for that, Dan. Just cut me off at the knees. Yeah, so they're struggling. I mean, I think the only way Falkirk move forward is if they could get some amazing youth finds. And I don't think the academy is really producing that. And I think Gallagher, great, but he's a fullback. He's not going to score goals and change games.
He's only 17-year-old as well. That's the biggest issue with that development squad is they're still young.
I hate young development squads.
No,
So annoying.
none of them are none of the decent ones are 19, 20-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
And they can't.
They can't really play.
They're just a wee bit too young.
That's true.
But at the same time, Kingsley, Fulton all joined the squad when they were 17.
I know. But it's kind of depressing how many good Falkirk players have been produced and have gone.
Aye. That squad would have been pretty tasty.
I know.
Then Swansea, you could ask them for a few of their loan players. Them staying in the Premier League.
Oh, you're really hit and miss with some of these youngsters, though. Mind you, a Conor McGrandles, James Madison for Aberdeen. Again, find these guys. It's having the knowledge, and they need contacts for that. Contacts, I don't think Houston has down south actually.
Not at the moment.
No.
You got to ask around. I mean, he must know someone who knows someone. And agents are Avies boys about.
He managed Dundee United. I don't. Maybe
was a-
Charlie Telfer could
He
come.
was a scout for Celtic before he came to manage Falkirk.
Well, you obviously seen nobody there.
That didn't work.
I
Well,
think he was part of the signing of Chief J, Mackay Stephen and all.
well, Chief J could be a. I don't know his wages, maybe because he's a Celtic player.
Mackay Stephen as well.
I think again he'd look for a Christie-esque kind of top end Premiership move, but who knows? Anyway, I think to round off our Falkirk chat, now would be a good time for a quiz. Hey! So, this week's quiz, I've got some statistics from the Falkirk team this season. Some interesting, some not very interesting, because it's quite hard to find any good statistics on the Falkirk team. So you will need your notepads for this and a pen. Right, get a wee blank piece of paper for me so I can see what you're writing, so you can actually play along with this at home. Right.
John's going to smash this.
I don't know if I'm keeping score. Am I keeping score for this one?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll keep score, so I will say Darren, John, and you, the listener,
Darren,
can
0
keep
points.
score. You know, right here, John. So we'll say each question's worth 2 points. If there's a question about the statistic, you get a point for naming the correct player, and I'll give you a point for the closest to the number itself. Okay, some of these will be quite tricky, so I'll ask the lads for their answers. You write them down at home. Let's see what you think. So, we will start with, since we've done the most goals already, I'll scratch that one off the list. Craig Sibbald of 10. Who's had the most appearances for Falkirk this season? And how many appearances have they had? I think these statistics were purely based on the championship. So, only in the championship. So, the playoff games didn't count as they were premiership games. Think about it, it's the most appearances for Falkirk player this season and the number of games you think they have played. So have you got your answers written down yet? Still thinking about it? Listeners at home, how are you getting on? I think this is a Falkirk fans quiz only. I think we'll try and clip this out actually. Share with everyone else, see how well you do. So, show me your answers. Darren, what have you written down?
Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr, good suggestion. How many appearances?
34.
34?
Sibs and all 36.
Oh, for goodness sake. John gets 2 points. Spot on.
Never missed a game.
Craig Sibbald with 36 appearances, but Mark Kerr I think was 34, 32. I think Taiwo played a huge amount of games as well.
I was up at Liga, but Gallagher picked up. He's the only one I can think of.
Gallagher. So, next question. Which player for Falkirk was most subbed off this season? Subbed off, and how many times was this player taken off? Quite a lot of rotation this season, which we didn't really discuss earlier. Houston was trying to find quite a lot of freshness in the squad. Write down your answer. Give you a few seconds to do that. The player who was subbed off the most during the season. I don't know whether the rotation actually helped him in the end, because he played the same squad for the 2 last games, so he just ditched that whole rotation concept. Lads are getting their answers down. I hope you at home are getting your answers down as well. So keep your scores. Oh, Darren's got an answer. John, what's your answer?
Baird with 12 civilians.
Oh, what did you put down?
I done the same. John Baird.
You're correct with John Baird, but he was subbed off 21 times.
21? Wow.
Yeah, so I'll give you a point each for that one. Well done there. My next question is the most assists of the season. Of the season. Which player gave the most assists? Like a wee pass to score a cheeky goal. And bear in mind how many few goals Falkirk scored this season, and you'll not be far off with how many assists this man got. Could it have been a man or a woman? There were so few assists, it might actually be like a Falkirk. Does the Falkirk have a women's team?
They used to.
They should.
I think that's got to.
Do you know what? I would actually quite like to see like the women play before the Falkirk game.
Would
So
they
like,
play against each other?
well, no, that would be interesting. We did that Graham High. We got beat by the girls' team. It was embarrassing. Do you have an answer for me, Darren?
Yes, I just went for Craig Sibbald.
8 assists.
8 assists, yeah.
That's very interesting. John, what's your answer?
Liga with 7 assists.
Both wrong. Miles Hippolyte with 4.
4.
4.
4.
4 was the maximum number in that team.
Makes sense why I never got past
Grim,
39.
isn't it? Well,
A little bit.
all these stats add up, doesn't it? So, my next question is, who had the most bookings this season? Who got booked the most times, do you think? Which player in the team could have been defender, midfielder, or even a striker? Who knows? I'm not revealing this is a quiz. This is the whole point, to get your opinion, see what you think. A lot of looking towards the ceiling from the guys here, they're not entirely sure. Getting good answers written down here. John's looking mildly confident.
No.
Unconfident? It's a good quiz, isn't it? Darren, what's your answer?
I went with Taiwo.
How many bookings?
8
8 bookings. Ooh, interesting number.
I went from Muirhead and 6 bookings.
Right, Darren gets the points for closest to the number. Aaron Muirhead with 9 bookings, so it's a point each. John gets the point for Muirhead. Darren, you get the point for the amount of yellow cards.
I'll take that.
Next question is a bit of a reverse of the one before. The most subbed on player for Falkirk this season. Who do we think is the player that's been substituted on the most? Who's been the impact player for the Force, supposedly? Statistically, not really, but yeah. John, what's your answer?
I went from McHugh
How many times?
20 times.
Darren, what's your answer?
I went for Lee Miller 15 times.
How many times did you go for, John?
20.
20. It's Robert McHugh 18 times.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So John gets the 2 there, just slightly closer on the 2 instead of the 3 points. So we move on now to the least minutes played. So this is any player that's played more than 0 minutes
Right.
for Falkirk. So they have obviously played. The least amount of minutes by any Falkirk player played just in the championship. Dun, dun, dun,
Struggle
dun,
with this
dun, 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 total minutes. Dun, 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 dun. This won't work over the quiz music I'm going to have in the background, but still. John, do you have an answer for me?
Yep, Tony Gallagher, 250 minutes.
250 minutes, okay. Darren?
I went for Gallagher too, but I went for just 100.
120. John, you get a point for being closest to the minutes. 187 minutes played by Joe McKee. Joe McKee played, I think, made only 4 appearances. Pretty dismal. Now, the highest scoring defender in the team. Who has scored the most goals out of defence? So any player in the Falkirk team that was a defender, who has scored the most goals?
By 400%.
Defender, John. Any defender. A public defender. A space defender. I can't think of any other defender names. John, do you have an answer for me?
Muirhead with 5.
Darren, do you have an answer?
I just went with Peter Grant with 4.
Oh, Darren gets the point for the goals. It is 4 goals, but John gets a point for the player. Aaron Muirhead with 4 goals, who were chastising for being useless, has scored the most goals out of the defenders.
I think they're all penalties.
Probably. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Right.
So yeah, I just looked at this now. So, now we've done the highest scoring defender, let's look at the highest scoring striker. Which striker of the Falkirk players has scored the most goals? Yeah, a wee moment to think about that. Who's been banging in the goals for the Falkirk Bears this year? You know, think of those moments of elation. Who have we been celebrating? The strikers, obviously, not the defenders, or even the goalkeeper. I don't think the goalkeepers have had any goals this season. Roger's on his way back to Aberdeen. I saw him tweeting today. Well, Lolly actually thinks he's coming back to Aberdeen. I don't know. He'll probably be a sub-keeper, I would imagine. But we'll wait and see. Darren, do you have an answer for me?
I just went for Bears and 8 goals.
Right, John?
Lee Miller and 10.
Alright. I'll give Darren a point. I'll give John 2. Because it is Lee Miller with 9. Lee Miller. But Lee Miller has actually a shockingly low amount of minutes. So his goal to minute ratio. Austin's actually got a pretty good goal to minute ratio as well, because he's not really been playing that much. So, last couple of questions. What was Falkirk's average attendance this season, and what was the percentage difference from last season? the average attendance this season
Is that 2 questions?
and the percentage difference last season. So 2 points, you get closest to each figure, and 1 point if you're roughly in the ballpark. I'm not going to be annoying and say, no, you were out by 2 people. That is an incorrect answer. I'll give it plus or minus a couple of hundred, I think. Maybe 500, I'm feeling generous. How are the listeners getting on at home? Tweet in at Sofamanager. John runs a very bitter account over there, but it's very interesting. He's up to date with most of the news. So it's a good source. Also, just add Darren on Facebook. Lots of good football news there too. Right, Darren, you got an answer for me.
Right, so I went for 6,100.
Right.
And then 20.
20%.
Yeah.
Increase or decrease? Decrease. Okay. John?
I went for 5,000 and 5%.
Right. John's a Jesus. Average attendance 5,032, increase of 7.8%. 7.8. So I think John takes the quiz this week. Well done, John. That's all our questions. Any Falkirk know-it-alls at home? Hope you did well. I thought that was quite interesting.
That's interesting.
Especially Muirhead's Baird being subbed off.
Shocking amount of goals he scored.
Yeah, I mean Miller on 9 as your top scoring striker. That is
How many
poor.
goals has Baird scored?
I think 7 or something like
7?
that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not much.
No, it's really not been. Mind, I'm sure last season they finish in like 16, 17, 18.
I mean, McHugh only got 6. I think 3 of them were in the League Cup.
Mm-hmm. Really not played many games this season though, McHugh, compared to last season.
Definitely not.
So anyway, it is time
Each time.
to visit Sofamanager Ecosse. Is it Ecosse in Spain? They would say Scotland.
Yes.
Ecosse.
Mm.
We'll come up with a more snappy
Ecosse.
name for this week. But it's time for our Spanish roundup. It's all wrapped up now, isn't it, Darren?
It is, yes. Final weekend.
Very sadly.
Last weekend of the season in Spain. So we had Real Madrid were playing UA Malaga. Say UA Malaga.
Can I join in then?
So Real Madrid were away to Malaga. Last game of the season on the Sunday night, and Barcelona had a home tie against Eibar. We ended on Real Madrid 2 against Malaga 0. And Barcelona had a 4-2 victory over Eibar. Both games were obviously on edge. We were waiting to see what happened. Final day, anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could have won the league title. But it was Real Madrid that prevailed in the end. Ronaldo and Benzema with the goals. And for Barcelona, they were actually 2-0 down at one point.
saw
the
that.
game. Yeah.
Ronaldo had scored after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. After a couple of minutes, Ronaldo had got a goal. And then in the Barcelona game, it took an own goal to get them back into it. Luis Suarez then stepped up to get a goal for Barca to make it 2-2. Then Eibar had a man sent off, which helped Barcelona a lot. In the 74th minute, and then Messi stepped up for the penalty and scored that. And then in the last minute of the game, Messi stepped up again with a lovely wee dribble through the middle of the pitch, right up into the box, and then smashed it home, going past at least 6 players. Really good goal, actually. If it wasn't the final game of the season, it might have got a wee bit more recognition. But really good, and it ended 4-2 to Barcelona. But it was Real Madrid's night and season. They were the champions by
Good for you,
3 points.
Aye.
So yes, 3 points it was in the end. Obviously, it goes down to head-to-head in Spain. But we didn't need that. But,
Sadly.
Sadly.
That'd have been tense.
But no, it was interesting. It's great how it went down to the last day of the season, actually. Because it kept the suspense going right throughout the season. And to be fair, both teams have had poor patches throughout the season. So
I think it's been so close.
yeah,
Kind of throughout. They've both kind of lost points, kind of here and there. But
Yeah.
that's what happens with leagues, isn't it?
So obviously we had Seville at the start of the season, who looked like they were going to be challenging with the two. They fell away, and Atletico Madrid's not quite done it in the league this year, but they've still got a third finish, so they'll be quite happy with that. Going through the other fixtures then, so we had Espanyol had 2-1 victory over Granada. Sporting Gijón had a 2-2 draw against Real Betis. Ruben Castro with another couple of goals for
He's been good.
Real Betis, yeah,
He's
he's
been
done
good.
I'll need to check how many ended on for the season. Deportivo had a 3-0 victory over Las Palmas. Leganés had a 1-1 draw against Alaves. Seville had a 5-0 victory against Osasuna.
Were Osasuna relegated?
Osasuna have been relegated.
So that, yeah.
So, yeah, the 3 teams were already relegated going into the last game of the season. So, Osasuna went down.
Same in England as well, which is quite unusual.
Yeah, a wee bit different.
Awfully boring.
Yeah, Premier League died a death.
Yeah. So, Osasuna went down. Also had Granada with Tony Adams went down. Really bad appointment that
those
was.
Chinese investors will only be happy.
Yeah. And the last club that went down was Sporting Gijón.
Gijón.
Yes.
Gijón to play for. Gijón. See what I did? That was very French. Very, very French, but nonetheless.
Atletico Madrid had a 3-1 victory over Bilbao. Fernando Torres getting 2 goals, so he must be looking for a new contract, I'm guessing. So.
A nice wee send off.
Getting back in the goal street.
It's a pretty naff season for Bilbao, though, isn't it?
See, they ended up being what was it? It was actually it was 7th in the league, which for them that's pretty
It's
disappointing.
another Europa League thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think they get into it just no more if Barca win the cup final anyway. But at the moment, Real Sociedad and Villarreal are in the Europa League, so that is a poor season.
Oh, good on Villarreal, they've come back.
Villarreal's done well, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on next season.
The Yellow Submarines.
Yep, the Yellow Submarines. And Celta Vigo had a 2-2 draw against Real Sociedad. Very much just gave up after that.
Rounds off a good season for Celta Vigo. I don't think they can complain.
Yeah, they bombed it in the league, but they done the right thing, I suppose, and went for it in the Europa League. It's a shame they never really turned up in the first leg against Man United.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, they done well. They done well to get to where they were. And Valencia will be interested to see how they get on next season. They had a 3-1 defeat against Villarreal. Nani on the goal sheet for Valencia. Interesting to see if he stays there. I think he will. And for Villarreal, Roberto Soldado back on the goal sheet.
What?
Just coming back right at the end of the season. He's been out injured most of the year.
Probably for the best.
So.
He was naff.
We've been doing a lot worse with him.
Terragueros and Sansoni with the other goals there for Villarreal. And that was it. And that has wrapped us up for the La Liga season.
Rounds off La Liga season.
16-17.
First time for Real Madrid in a few years.
It's first title since 2012, actually.
They really don't win enough league titles, considering it's such a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
So they'll be pleased with that. And they are in the Champions League final
against Juventus.
Yeah.
2nd of June.
Is that what it is? I'm not even that bothered about it this season.
Not particularly. I'm in Lanzarote, so I'm just going to get up in
I'd quite like to see, it'd be great for Real Madrid if they could win the double, obviously, and then they would actually win the Champions League back to back. Who would be the first team to do that?
Oh, would they?
But at the same time,
I don't want that. I'd rather Juventus.
At the same time, I'd quite like to see Juventus win it for like Buffon and so on.
Yeah.
That'd be a good.
It's really interesting because they're both very different sides, you know.
They are, yeah.
Juventus has had the same team roughly for a few years.
And what I think will be interesting is that Juventus are a really good defence.
Really good defence.
Real Madrid obviously a good attack. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
We will wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well.
So that's that.
the Coupe de la Ligue final as well.
Alright.
This Saturday.
Who cares about that? PSG lost the league.
Was it Angers though playing?
Aye.
I was like, what the hell?
I know. I don't even bother keeping up with the league until they get to the final. Sorry, the cup. Yeah, but no, PSG lost the league in France, so.
That's alright. That's what Berlin got beat 6-2 in the last game of the season, so.
Are they in Europe?
They get in Europe.
Yeah, I thought they
But
did.
not the Champions
just no
League?
more, eh?
Europa League.
Oh, that's a bit of a.
They came 6 or something.
For a while it was between Bayern Munich, Hertha and Leipzig for the title. And they completely collapsed. Round about the same time I went and seen them. Bad omen perhaps.
Is it 4 teams in Germany that get into the Champions League?
Aye, because they've changed it all.
Yeah.
Because Italy's 4, Spain's 4, England's 4, maybe 5. Depending on Man United.
Man United, yeah.
In the Europa League.
Oh, that'd be such a lull to Arsenal.
They've been a little bit.
Yeah, I think Germany. Stuttgart come back straight back up.
I think so.
Yeah, so there was a wee big pitch invasion there.
Alright.
So Waldorf and Mannheim might be getting into the proper leagues.
Really?
In the playoffs.
Good luck to them.
Good luck, Alex. If you're listening.
No. We can't even get English people to listen. I think that rounds us off for this week, though, guys, isn't it?
I'd say so, yeah.
So thanks for listening from me.
Thanks for listening, everyone, from Darren.
So, guys.